Neville Goddard wrote a book so short you can read it in 1 hour. And in that 1 hour, he revealed the single principle that governs all of creation. He called it, feeling is the secret. Not thinking is the secret. Not visualizing is the secret. Not working harder is the secret. Feeling. And when you apply this principle specifically to money, to wealth, to financial abundance, something happens that no business strategy, no investment plan, and no amount of hustle can produce. Your entire relationship with money transforms. Not gradually, fundamentally, because the feeling you carry about money is not a reaction to your financial situation. It is the cause of your financial situation. Every dollar in your account right now is there because of a feeling you held at some point in the past. Every dollar that is missing because of a different feeling. This is not motivation. This is law. And today you are going to understand exactly how this law operates, why most people use it against themselves without knowing it, and how to use it deliberately to build a wealth mindset that the quantum field cannot ignore. To understand why feeling is more powerful than thought when it comes to money, you need to know something that neuroscience has confirmed. Your brain processes thoughts and feelings through entirely different systems. Thoughts are processed through the prefrontal cortex, the analytical mind. Feelings are processed through the limbic system and the body itself. And here is the critical difference. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your behavior, does not respond to the prefrontal cortex. It responds to the limbic system. It responds to feeling. This means you can think about wealth all day long. You can analyze financial strategies. You can make vision boards covered in pictures of mansions. But if your feeling about money is fear, scarcity, or not enough, your subconscious receives the feeling and ignores the thought. Every time. The HeartMath Institute has measured this. The electromagnetic field generated by emotional states in the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the electrical field of the brain. Your feelings are not just internal experiences. They are electromagnetic broadcasts that extend beyond your body and interact with the quantum field around you. When Neville Goddard said feeling is the secret, he was describing a measurable physical phenomenon decades before science could confirm it. In quantum physics, this connects to the observer effect. The act of observation collapses waves of probability into specific outcomes. But what most people miss is that the quality of the observation matters. An observation charged with feeling collapses possibilities far more efficiently than an observation made with thought alone. Your feeling about money is the most consistent and most powerful observation you make about your financial reality. And whatever you observe with feeling, the quantum field materializes. This is why two people with identical skills, identical opportunities, and identical work ethic can have completely different financial outcomes. The difference is not what they do, it is what they feel while they do it. One feels confident that money flows naturally. The other feels anxious that there is never enough. Same actions, different feelings, different results, different realities. This is the most liberating truth you will ever encounter about money. It means that you do not need to change your circumstances to change your financial life. You need to change your feeling. And feeling is something you can change right now, in this moment, without anyone's permission, without any external resources, without any special training. The wealthiest feeling available to you is available right now, in the chair where you are sitting, with the breath you are breathing. You do not need to wait for conditions to improve. You need to improve the feeling and let the conditions follow. That is the law. That has always been the law, and today you are going to learn exactly how to apply it. Before I reveal the 4 pillars of the wealth feeling that Neville Goddard taught, hit the like button right now. That action is a feeling made physical. You are expressing value, and your subconscious registers that expression as coherent with what you are learning. Subscribe and turn on notifications. And write in the comments, "Feeling is my secret." Those 4 words are not an affirmation. They are an ownership statement. You are claiming the principle as yours. And that claim, made public, activates something in your subconscious that private thoughts cannot. Do it now. The first pillar of the wealth feeling is what Neville Goddard called the feeling of naturalness, and it is the most misunderstood aspect of his entire teaching. Most people who try to manifest wealth make the same mistake. They try to feel excited about money. They pump themselves up with visions of luxury. They force emotional peaks of "I am rich and I am abundant." And for a moment, they feel a rush of excitement. But that rush fades within minutes. And when it fades, they crash back into their default state, which is usually worry, scarcity, or not enough. The problem is not that they felt the wrong thing. The problem is that they felt the wrong quality of feeling. Excitement is not the wealth feeling. Naturalness is. Think about something you already have that you feel completely secure about. Maybe it is your ability to read. Maybe it is having clean water when you turn on the tap. Maybe it is knowing your name. How do you feel about those things? Not excited, not euphoric, natural, obvious. Of course I can read, of course there is water, of course that is my name. That naturalness is the feeling that your subconscious interprets as truth. And truth is what it materializes. When you feel excited about wealth, your subconscious interprets excitement as something unusual, something not yet real, something to be desired, and desire, by definition, implies absence. But when you feel natural about wealth, your subconscious interprets it as an established fact, something that simply is, something that needs no excitement because it is already part of your identity. Have you noticed that wealthy people rarely seem excited about money? They seem calm about it, natural, as if having money is as ordinary as having shoes. That calmness is not the result of being wealthy, it is the cause. Their feeling of naturalness about money preceded their wealth and produced it. Neville Goddard was explicit about this. He said that the feeling of the wish fulfilled must have the quality of already being so, not hoping to be so, not trying to be so, already being so. A woman in her early 50s described her breakthrough with this pillar in a way that captures its essence. She said, "I spent years trying to feel excited about money. I would visualize and get a rush, and then an hour later I would check my bank account and feel sick. The excitement was a lie my body knew I was telling. One day I stopped trying to feel excited and just felt normal about having enough. Like it was boring. Like of course I have enough. And that boring feeling changed my life more than years of excitement ever did." The consequence of chasing excitement instead of naturalness is that you exhaust yourself emotionally without ever shifting your subconscious programming. You ride emotional roller coasters that leave you exactly where you started. What can you do today? Choose one financial reality you want to experience, and instead of trying to feel excited about it, practice feeling bored about it. Practice the mundane normalcy of already having it. How would you feel about your bank account if it always had more than enough? Not thrilled, not amazed, slightly bored, completely at peace. That boredom is the frequency that Neville Goddard called the secret. There is a scientific reason why naturalness works and excitement does not. When you feel excited, your body produces adrenaline and dopamine. These chemicals create a temporary high that your brain associates with novelty, with something unusual, with something that is not your normal state, and your subconscious is designed to return you to your normal state. So the excitement peak is always followed by a crash. And the crash brings you back to your baseline feeling about money, which for most people is anxiety or scarcity. But when you feel natural about wealth, your body produces serotonin and oxytocin. These chemicals create a sustained state of well-being that your brain associates with safety, belonging, and normalcy. Your subconscious does not try to correct this state because it reads it as home. This is why people who win the lottery often lose everything within a few years. They experience an excitement spike that their subconscious interprets as abnormal, and the subconscious spends the next few years engineering circumstances to return them to their financial normal, their baseline feeling. But people who build wealth gradually and feel natural about each level of increase tend to keep it, because each level became their new normal before the next level arrived. The feeling of naturalness is not passive. It is the most active form of creation because it rewrites your subconscious baseline. And your baseline is the set point that determines everything. But the second pillar goes deeper because it reveals why your body actively fights against the wealth feeling and what to do about it. The second pillar is the feeling of safety with money. And this is where most wealth manifestation teachings fail completely. They teach you to feel abundant. They teach you to feel rich. But they never address the fact that your nervous system may be terrified of both. If you grew up in an environment where money caused conflict, where financial conversations were tense and frightening, where wealth was associated with danger, greed, or loss, then your nervous system recorded a simple equation: money equals threat, and no amount of positive feeling can override a nervous system that is bracing for impact. Have you ever received unexpected money and immediately felt anxious instead of relieved? Have you ever been on the verge of financial success and suddenly felt an inexplicable urge to sabotage it? Have you ever noticed that when money flows in, your body tenses up instead of relaxing? That is your nervous system responding to its programming. Money is approaching, danger, and your body activates the same fight or flight response it would activate if a predator were approaching. Your cortisol spikes, your muscles tighten, your perception narrows. And in that state, you make decisions from fear, not from wisdom. You spend impulsively to get rid of the dangerous money. You reject opportunities because success feels threatening. You unconsciously push wealth away because your body has learned that money hurts. Neville Goddard understood that the feeling of the wish fulfilled must include the feeling of safety, not just the feeling of having safely, the feeling that money is welcome in your life, that its presence is not a threat, but a natural extension of who you are. A man in his late 50s described his breakthrough with this pillar. He said, "I realized that every time money came in, my chest tightened, not from excitement, from fear. My father lost everything when I was 12, and my body decided that having money means you are about to lose it. When I started practicing feeling safe with money, just safe, not rich, just safe, my chest stopped tightening. And for the first time in my life, money stayed. It did not disappear. It did not get consumed by emergencies. It stayed, because my body finally let it." The consequence of not addressing financial safety in your nervous system is that your body will override every conscious attempt to manifest wealth. You can feel abundant in your mind while your body screams danger. And the body always wins. What can you do tonight? Before sleep, place both hands on your chest. Breathe slowly, and introduce the simplest feeling possible. I am safe with money, not wealthy, not abundant, safe. Let your body register that safety. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breathing deepen. That physical response is your nervous system accepting a new association. Money equals safety, and when your nervous system believes that money is safe, it stops fighting your wealth and starts allowing it. There's a test you can do right now to discover if your nervous system feels safe with money. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine someone handing you $100,000 in cash, not a check. Cash, stacks of bills in your hands. Notice what happens in your body. Does your chest open or contract? Does your breathing deepen or become shallow? Do your hands feel warm and relaxed or cold and tense? If your body contracts, tightens, or produces any form of discomfort at the image of receiving a large sum of money, your nervous system does not feel safe with wealth, and no amount of visualization or affirmation will override that until the safety is established first. This is why Neville Goddard emphasized the feeling above all else. He knew that the body holds the key. The mind can declare abundance all day, but if the body contracts at the approach of money, the declaration is hollow. The feeling of safety must be established at the somatic level, in the muscles, in the breath, in the heartbeat, before any other wealth practice can take root. Think of it like planting a garden. You can have the best seeds in the world, but if the soil is toxic, nothing grows. Your nervous system is the soil. The feeling of safety is what detoxifies it, and only in safe soil can the seeds of wealth take root and flourish. But the third pillar reveals the specific feeling that acts as a magnet for financial opportunities. Before I continue, if this is changing how you understand your relationship with money, share this video with someone who deserves to know that their financial struggle is not about effort or intelligence, it is about feeling. And subscribe, because the upcoming videos will take each of these pillars deeper with specific practices you can apply every night. The third pillar is the feeling of deserving without conditions, and this one cuts deep because it challenges a belief that most people have never questioned. Somewhere in your past, you learned that deserving is conditional. You deserve money if you work hard enough. You deserve abundance if you suffer enough. You deserve good things if you are good enough. That conditional deserving creates a permanent feeling of not yet good enough, not yet hard-working enough, not yet worthy enough. And that feeling of not yet is the exact frequency that tells the quantum field, keep wealth in the future, not in the present. Neville Goddard taught that deserving is not earned. It is assumed. You do not become worthy of your desire by proving something. You become worthy by assuming that you already are. The feeling of unconditional deserving is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the recognition that you are consciousness itself, and consciousness does not need permission to create. Think of a child who asks for ice cream. The child does not list qualifications, does not present a resume, does not explain why they deserve it. They simply feel that wanting it is enough to warrant having it. That unconditional assumption of deserving is the feeling that collapses wealth into form. Not because you earned it, because you claimed it with the same naturalness that a child claims dessert. A retired teacher in her early 60s shared something that illuminated this pillar perfectly. She told me, "I grew up hearing that God helps those who help themselves. I interpreted that to mean I had to prove my worth before receiving anything good. I spent 60 years proving, working, sacrificing, and I had just enough. Never more." When I started feeling that I deserved abundance simply because I exist, not because of what I do, but because of what I am, everything shifted. Opportunities appeared that I had done nothing to earn. Money came from directions I never expected. It was as if the universe had been waiting for me to stop proving and start receiving. The consequence of conditional deserving is that you spend your life in an endless audition for a role you already have. You keep trying to earn what is already yours by birthright, and that trying is the very feeling that pushes it away. There is a reason why conditional deserving is so deeply embedded in most people. It was taught by every institution that shaped you. School taught you that you deserve good grades if you study hard enough. Work taught you that you deserve a raise if you perform well enough. Religion, for many, taught that you deserve blessings if you are pious enough. Even your family likely taught conditional love, whether they intended to or not. You were praised when you behaved and criticized when you did not. And your subconscious recorded all of it as a single operating principle. Receiving is conditional. Prove your worth first. Now apply that to money. Every time you approach a financial opportunity with the feeling of "I need to prove I deserve this," you are broadcasting a frequency that says, "I do not yet deserve this." And the quantum field responds to the frequency, not to your resume. This is why Neville Goddard's teaching was so revolutionary. He said that you do not ask for permission from the universe. You assume that you are already the person who has what you desire, not because you earned it, because assuming is the creative act itself. The assumption is the proof. The feeling of deserving is the qualification. Nothing else is required. Nothing else was ever required. What can you do today? Notice every time you attach a condition to your deserving. I will feel abundant when I earn more. I will feel worthy when I achieve X. I deserve rest after I finish this. Each of those conditions is a declaration to the quantum field that you do not have it yet. Replace the condition with a simple recognition. I deserve this now, not because of what I have done, because of what I am. But the fourth pillar is what transforms the other three from occasional practices into a permanent wealth mindset. The fourth pillar is the feeling of already being wealthy, not becoming wealthy. Being wealthy, and this distinction is everything. Most people who try to manifest money live in the feeling of becoming. They feel like they are on the way, getting closer, almost there, working toward it. And that feeling of becoming, as hopeful as it sounds, is a declaration to the quantum field that wealth is not here yet. It is somewhere in the future, and the quantum field only creates in the present. It does not respond to someday, it responds to now. Neville Goddard was absolute about this. He said you must live in the end, not move toward the end. Live in it. Occupy the state of the wish fulfilled as if it were already your permanent address. Not a place you visit during meditation, a place you live. Have you noticed the difference between someone who is trying to lose weight and someone who is naturally fit? The person trying to lose weight feels the effort constantly. Every meal is a battle. Every workout is a punishment. Every mirror is a judgment. But the naturally fit person does not think about it. They eat well because it feels natural. They move their body because it feels good. There is no effort because there is no gap between who they are and what they do. The same applies to wealth. The person trying to become wealthy feels the gap constantly. Every purchase is calculated. Every opportunity is evaluated with anxiety. Every financial decision carries the weight of not enough yet. But the person who feels already wealthy makes decisions from abundance, not recklessly, calmly. They do not chase money because they do not feel chased by its absence. A business owner in his mid-50s described this shift. He said, "I built 3 businesses from the feeling of needing to prove myself financially. All 3 succeeded on paper, but I never felt wealthy. Then I started a 4th business from the feeling of already being wealthy, not faking it, genuinely feeling that I already had enough regardless of what happened with the business. That 4th business grew faster than the other 3 combined. Not because I worked harder, because I worked from a different feeling, and the feeling made all the difference." The consequence of living in the feeling of becoming is that you are always almost there, but never arriving. Because becoming is a perpetual state of not yet, and the quantum field faithfully reflects that not yet back to you as your financial reality. What can you do tonight? Before sleep, instead of visualizing wealth arriving, feel wealth already present. Not arriving, present. Already here, already normal, already boring. Feel the quiet satisfaction of someone who is not waiting for anything because everything they need is already in their life. That feeling, held in the theta state before sleep, impresses your subconscious with the most powerful instruction possible. Wealth is not coming. Wealth is here. And your subconscious, which does not question the feeling you give it, begins building your waking reality around that instruction. There is a paradox in this 4th pillar that Neville Goddard addressed directly. People ask, "How can I feel wealthy when my bank account says otherwise?" And the answer reveals the deepest truth of the law. Your bank account is showing you yesterday's feeling, not today's. The number in your account right now is the physical manifestation of a feeling you held weeks, months, or years ago. It is old data, a receipt, a printout of past consciousness. When you feel wealthy now, despite what the account says, you are not denying reality. You are choosing which reality you feed with your attention. The old reality will continue to exist for a while, just as a ship continues to move forward for a moment after you change direction. But the new direction is set. And every day that you hold the feeling of already being wealthy, the ship turns a little more. The old momentum weakens. The new momentum builds. And one day, the bank account catches up to the feeling, not the other way around. This is why Neville said that signs follow. They do not precede. The feeling comes first. The evidence comes second, always in that order, never reversed. The moment you wait for evidence before you feel, you have reversed the law, and a reversed law produces reversed results. Now I want to guide you through an experience that activates all 4 pillars simultaneously. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes, let your body settle. Take 3 slow breaths. With each exhale, release 1 layer of financial tension. The first breath releases the thought that you do not have enough. The second breath releases the effort of trying to get more. The third breath releases the need for anything to be different than it is right now. Now bring your attention to your body. Notice how it feels in this moment. Not your thoughts about money, your body's relationship with money. Where do you feel tension? That tension is the old financial programming stored in your muscles, your organs, your nervous system. Now introduce the first pillar, the feeling of naturalness. Feel wealth as the most boring, ordinary, unremarkable fact of your life. Like having 10 fingers, like knowing how to breathe. Wealth is simply there. It always has been. It requires no celebration because it requires no effort. Now add the second pillar, the feeling of safety. Place your attention on your heart and feel that money is safe. Its presence is welcome. It does not bring danger. It does not cause conflict. It simply exists in your life as naturally and safely as the air you breathe. Let your body register that safety. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your breathing deepen. Now add the third pillar, the feeling of deserving without conditions. You do not need to earn this feeling. You do not need to prove anything. You deserve financial peace simply because you exist, not because of what you have done, because of what you are. Let that unconditional deserving settle into your bones. And finally, the fourth pillar, the feeling of already being, not becoming, being. Right now, in this moment, you are the person who has the wealth you desire, not tomorrow, now. It is not arriving, it is here. Feel the quiet completeness of that, the absence of wanting, the presence of having. Hold all four feelings together: naturalness, safety, deserving, being. Let them merge into a single state that your body recognizes as home. This is the wealth feeling that Neville Goddard called the secret. Not a technique, a state. Not something you do, something you are. Stay here as long as you need, and when you open your eyes, carry this feeling into your next hour, your next decision, your next interaction with money. Because from this moment forward, your subconscious has a new reference point for what financial reality feels like. Neville Goddard spent his entire life teaching one truth wrapped in many words. The truth is simple. What you feel to be true, your reality must reflect, not because the universe rewards good feelings, because the universe is a mirror that cannot reflect anything other than what stands before it. Your feeling is what stands before the mirror. And for most of your life, the feeling standing before that mirror has been scarcity, not enough, and conditional deserving. Today, you placed a different feeling before the mirror: naturalness, safety, unconditional deserving, already being. And the mirror has no choice but to begin reflecting that back, not as a favor, as law. The four pillars you learned today are not techniques you add to your manifestation toolkit. They are the foundation that makes every other technique work. Without feeling, visualization is empty. Without feeling, affirmations are noise. Without feeling, action is effort without direction. But with feeling, with the right feeling, held with consistency and naturalness, everything changes. Not because you forced the world to change, because you changed the only thing that was ever in your control: how you feel. And feeling, as Neville Goddard taught, is the secret. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. Tonight, when you close your eyes, do not think about money. Feel about money. Feel the naturalness of having it. Feel the safety of its presence. Feel the unconditional right to receive it. And feel the quiet completeness of already being the person who has it. Those four feelings, held together in the moments before sleep, create a composite frequency that your subconscious cannot ignore. And your subconscious will work through the night, building the bridges, the coincidences, the opportunities, and the circumstances that match that frequency. Not because you asked, because you felt. And feeling is the only language the universe truly understands. Write in the comments, "I feel wealthy now." Not "I want to feel wealthy." Not "I am trying to feel wealthy." I feel wealthy now. Those four words are the fourth pillar in action. You are declaring the present tense of a state that your subconscious will carry into sleep tonight. Share this video with anyone who has been trying to think their way to wealth without understanding that feeling is the actual mechanism of creation. And subscribe, because in the next video we will reveal the night practice that Neville Goddard considered so powerful. He said it was the only technique anyone would ever need, applied specifically to building permanent financial abundance. Feeling is the secret. Now you know, and knowing is only the beginning. Feeling is everything.